Hi everyone, this is Ram from Informatica Global Customer Support Team. In the previous video, we have seen how to install PowerCenter server on Linux OS, and in this video, we'll see what is a PowerCenter client and how to load the data from Oracle to PostgreSQL. This video will be very useful for the beginners who have started learning the PowerCenter. The agenda of this video is use of PowerCenter client. Under this PowerCenter client, there will be 4 tools. First one is repository manager, next designer, workflow manager, and workflow monitor. So I will tell you what are the basics of these 4 client tools, and then I will tell you how to load the data from one database to another database, and how to configure the DSN, and how to configure the drivers while defining the DSN, and followed by a quick demo. Now the steps we need to follow, we need to install PowerCenter client on Windows. This is a simple step. You just need to download the zip file, and then you need to unzip it, and then you need to provide your installation folder like C drive or D drive, and then you need to click next, and finish. Then all the 4 client tools, which is repository manager, designer, workflow manager, and workflow monitor, will get installed into your Windows machine. So I am considering that you have already installed the PowerCenter client, and then I am proceeding the same. Now PowerCenter client, under this there will be 4, as I already said. The first is repository manager. In this we'll create a folders, and we'll assign the permissions to the folder, and we'll assign permissions to users and groups as well, and we'll perform the deployment, etc. And designer, in the designer we create a mappings, which is nothing but we'll create a ETL job which helps for our business logic. And workflow manager, in this here we'll create a session, we'll assign a mapping to the session, and we'll create a workflow. Under this workflow we can create a number of tasks. Workflow is nothing but a set of instructions that describes how and when to run tasks. So using this workflow we can run the sessions. And workflow monitor, the name itself says it is used to monitor the scheduled or running workflows. Now, what are the terminologies that is present? There will be 32-bit DSN, 64-bit DSN, and the ODBC.ini file. So 32-bit DSN, when we use this is, if you are importing the source or target structures into the designer, we use 32-bit DSN. We'll configure 32-bit DSN because our PowerCenter client is a 32-bit version, and so in order to import into that 32-bit version, we use 32-bit DSN. And 64-bit DSN, if you are it is used when you are running the session. So if you have PowerCenter server on Windows, we configure 64-bit DSN, and then using that 64-bit DSN we run the session. But if your PowerCenter server is on Linux, then we use ODBC.ini file in order to run the session. So in this video, we'll see we have PowerCenter server on Linux. So I will configure all the details in the ODBC.ini file, the Oracle source and the target Postgres details in the ODBC.ini file, and then I will run the session. So before running the session, we need to configure all these 4 environment variables. One is ODBC home, ODBC INI, and LE library path, and path environment variable. Before starting the Informatica services, that means /infoservice.sh startup, before running the command, we need to define all these environment variables, and then we need to start our PowerCenter server. Then all these environment variables will be picked up by Informatica server, so that it will be helpful for us to run the session with the ODBC connection. So now I will show you everything with a practical demo. Now I have opened my repository manager. As I already said, these client tools you can install by just downloading the PowerCenter client file, and then unzip it, and then provide the installation directory, and then click next, and finish. Then all the repository manager, designer, workflow manager, and workflow monitor will get installed into your Windows machine. Now if you see, these are the options. Now in the previous video we have created the repository service in the admin console. In order to get the repository service, now you need to click on the repository and configure domains. Here you will get an option, add a new domain. Here you need to provide the domain details. These domain details you can get it from the info home ISP config node method.xml file from the PowerCenter server. So I am entering my domain name and the host name vento.informatica.com and the port number. Now click OK. Now you can see all the repository service that are configured under this domain. Now I am going to click rs_ram2. So you just need to click it, and then you just need to click OK. Now you can see rs_ram2 here. So let me quickly do it again. Configure domains. I just need to click it and then click OK. Now you can see, now you just need to connect it. So in order to connect it, you need to provide your username and password. So you need to provide your domain username and domain password. Now it is connecting. Now if you see here, there is repository option and edit view folder. So if we click on the folder, we can create a folder. So click on the folder and create. Now I am giving a folder name, which is I am giving as folder underscore cust. If you want to make it user OS profile and allow shortcut. So if you want to make it, you can make it, but I am going with click OK. Now we have a lot of options here. If you click on versioning, so this is a versioning. If your repository is a versioning repository, now you can purge the object versions as well. From here, purging means deleting the object versions permanently. And if you see analyze, and if you see tools, you can write a queries in order to get the objects. So this is a basic introduction about repository manager. Now I am logging into my designer and we can create a simple job. Now I have logged into my designer. Now here also you can see the repository, and here also if you want you can configure the domains, but I have configured in the repository manager and I have created the folder directly there. Here you can't create a folder in the designer. And if you click on edit, if you want to copy any folder, you can perform a copy, etc. And here also you can see the tools. If you want to query on the objects, then you can make a query. And versioning, if you want to make an object check-in and check-out, if your repository is version repository, then you can use these options. Now I have connected to rs_ram to repository. Now if you see, nothing is open on the right side. Now right click and click open. So if you click open, then the workspace of the folder underscore cust will get open onto the right side. And also the folder underscore cust will be in the bold color. That means you have opened the workspace for the folder underscore cust. Now here, if you see source analyzer, target designer, and this is a transformation developer, and this is a maplet designer, and this is a mapping designer. We basically use these three: source analyzer, target designer, and the mapping designer. Now first we need to perform the load from Oracle database to PostgreSQL. So in order to import the Oracle table, you need to configure a DSN. So I'm going to sources, import from database. Now, if you see here, ODBC data source. Now I need to configure a data source. So I'm clicking on this. And if you see user DSN, system DSN, and file DSN, this is a ODBC 32-bit. As I already said, in order to import into the designer, you need to use a 32-bit. So that's why I'm using 32-bit. User DSN, system DSN, file DSN. User DSN means if you want to use the DSN only by the user who logged into this system. That means I have logged in into my account. So if I only want to use the DSN, then I can configure it under user DSN. But if you want to configure under system DSN, that means any user who logged into the system, if they want to use, you can configure under system DSN. Now I am going with the user DSN and click add. Now here you can see the drivers that are present. Now if you see data direct 7.0 DB2, and these are provided by company Informatica. That means when you are going to install the client, all these drivers will get by default, it will get installed. So you don't need to install it again. Now if you see data direct, so these are the data direct drivers. Now if you go down, you can see the Microsoft Corporation. These are provided by the Microsoft. So these are provided by your system admins if you don't have these drivers. Now I'm going to use 7.1 data direct 7.1 Oracle wide protocol because my source is Oracle, and I am clicking finish. Now it will ask for the DSN name. You can provide any DSN name. I am providing as DSN underscore demo2, and here you need to provide the Oracle host name. Now I am providing my Oracle host name and the port number, Oracle port number, and the service name. Then test connect. Now it is asking for the username. Provide your username and the password. Now it is connecting. Now it is saying connection established. That means you are able to connect to the database. The database can be present in any location, like it is present in Mumbai data center or it is present in Delhi data center. It is able to connect using our driver. So connection is established. Now I am clicking on apply and OK. Now I'm clicking on OK. Now if you see here, ODBC data source DSN underscore demo2, which we have created just now. So I'm clicking on that. and the username, provide your username, and the owner name is also same. Owner name is nothing but the schema name, and provide your password here. Now connect it. Now it is going to connect to the database. Now if you see under this, I have EMP1, I have already created this table and I am just importing it. Click on import. Now if you see the EMP1 table as imported into the designer. Now in the same way, we need to import the target definition PostgreSQL. The same way you need to go into targets and import from the database. Here you need to create a PostgreSQL DSN. So in order to create, you need to click on the three dots, and I'm also creating a user DSN here. Click on the add, and you need to choose the data direct PostgreSQL wire protocol. This is provided by Informatica. We generally recommend to use data direct drivers only. So please use these drivers and click finish. And it is also asking for the DSN name. Provide your DSN name. I'm providing as demo2 post and the host name of the database Postgres. And I'm providing my host name and the database name. Provide your database name and click test connect. Now it is asking for the username. Provide your username and the password. Now I am clicking OK. Now the connection is established using the Oracle, the data direct 7.1 PostgreSQL wire protocol driver. Now click OK. Now apply and OK. Now click OK here. Now you can use your demo2 PostgreSQL ODBC data source in order to import the definition. Now let me log in into my Postgres, and here I am using the owner name. Owner name is nothing but the schema name. I have the schema name as public, so that's why I am giving as a public. Now enter your password and now click connect. Now you can see all the tables. Now if you see the tables, this one I have created emp1 underscore tgt. Now let me import the table. Now the table has two attributes, which is nothing but CID and CNAME. Now I am going into the mapping designer. Now I am creating a mapping underscore. I am giving as cust1, and on the left side, you just need to drag the source and then click on the targets, and then you just need to drag the targets, and you just need to link these attributes and auto link and click on the target. Now if you want to link by name, that means if you see here the customer ID, and this is customer ID and the customer name, the target is also customer ID and customer name. If you give by name, it will link by name, but if the target attributes names are different, you give by position. Now the same names are same, so that's why I'm giving OK. Now click on mappings, validate. Now it will validate your mapping whether it is valid or not. Now here you can see it is valid, and on the click on the repository and then click save. Now it will save these objects into the repository, which is nothing but rs underscore ram2. So let me log in into my Oracle SQL developer, and I will show you what is the source table and what is the target table. Let me log in into my SQL developer and then into PostgreSQL as well. Now I have logged into my Oracle SQL developer. So this is the table I have created. This is a create statement, and I have inserted two records. And if you run the select star from emp1, you can see the two records. Okay, this is my source. I want to load these two records into the target. Let me show you the target table as well. Now I have logged into my PG admin. This is a client used for the PostgreSQL. Now if you see, this is a table, support is a database, and my username. Under this username, I have created a table, create table. Under the public schema, I have created emp1 underscore tgt. This table I have imported into the designer previously. So if you run this statement, you can see there is no data. Now we need to load the data of Oracle into this target. Now I have opened the workflow manager client tool. We have already created a source and target and the mapping in the designer Now we need to open the workflow manager tool, and then we need to create a session. And after the creating the session, we need to create a workflow. So in order to create a session, there will be 3 tabs. You must be in the task developer tab, and you need to click on the tasks and create task. You can see there will be 3 tasks: session task, command task, and email task. Now we are going to create a session task. So I clicking the session and give the session name, and I'm giving as a session name. And you need to map the mapping, and this is the mapping I have created previously. So I'm mapping it, and then it will create the session. Now session got created successfully, and now we need to create a ODBC connection to the Oracle and to the target, which is PostgreSQL. So before creating Oracle and PostgreSQL connection, we can see on the left side, we have integration service is_ram2. See, this I have shown in the previous video, where we have created one repository service and we have configured one integration service. So these integration services we can see in the workflow manager and in the workflow monitor tool, but we can't see in the designer. That means in the workflow manager only we can schedule the jobs. So in order to schedule the jobs, integration service will be required. So here also the same options, like you can save and you can import objects. Import object means you can import the session and you can export the sessions and workflows, and you can make a connections. In order to make a relational connection, you can click on relational. And if you want to make an application connection, while using HTTP transformation, we use application connection, then you need to click on this. Now I'm making a relational connection, click on the relational, and then I'm going to use ODBC connection, click on the ODBC connection and click new. Now you can able to create a ODBC connection. So before going to create a ODBC connection, as I have already told, if your PowerCenter server is on Linux, you need to define all the details of the Oracle source and the PostgreSQL target in the ODBC.ini file. So let me log in into my Linux PuTTY window, and then I will define all the details in the ODBC.ini file. Let me show you that. Now I have logged into my PuTTY window in the Linux box, and if you see the present working directory, I am in my present working info home and ODBC 7.1. And if you do ls here, we can see the ODBC.ini file. Let me open that ODBC.ini file. And if you see, these are the DSN names that we need to configure. Now let me come from the top. Now here we can see ODBC data sources. These are the data sources: Sybase, Oracle Protocol, Data 7.1, Sybase. So in this way, these are the drivers. Now we need to create the Oracle DSN. So let me go to down. I have already created a data source, which is nothing but I have given DSN name as Oracle Demo 1. And if you see the description, I am using a data direct 8.0 Oracle Fire Protocol, and the driver should be your info home ODBC 7.1. And in the library lib folder, you will have DW Ora 28.so. So this is a driver you need to use. And then if you see here, I have given the host name, which is nothing but my database host name, INGLX Ora 12, which is my source is resides in this. And the service name, I have given PDP01 as my service name. Now this is my configuration for the Oracle. And while coming to the PostgreSQL, let me go down. And I have given the DSN name as Postgres Demo 1. And if you see the driver, this is the driver and the same data direct 7.1. I am using 7.1. You can use, if you have data direct 8.0, you can use, but prefer use the data direct. And the database name, as I have given database name as support, and the host name as same infinity. And the schema name, the schema is nothing but the owner name I have given as public. So after defining here, you need to set all the environment variables. So let me show you the environment variables as well. So these environment variables, so in this file, I have defined all the environment variables. So these are the environment variables. If you see ODBC home. This is the ODBC home. This is info home ODBC 7.1 and ODBC INI and LE library path and the path. These 4 environment variables you need to define before starting the services. So I have already defined these environment variables and then I have started the services. So make sure you have defined these services and then you have defined these variables and you start the services. Let me log in into my workflow manager again. So I logged into my workflow manager again, and then we need to create a data source here, ODBC connection. Now, if you see ODBC connection, I am giving as Aura demo 2. So on the username, you need to provide your DB username, and I am providing my DB username here. So let me provide my database username. And let me provide my password as well. And you need to provide your connection string. So this connection string, which we have defined in the ODBC.ini file. So you need to provide the same connection string here as well. So let me copy paste the connection string. And then click OK. Now I have created a connection. And let me create a new connection for the Postgres as well. Underscore post. Let me give us demo 2. Now you need to provide the username and the password of the database PostgreSQL. So let me provide the same. And let me provide the password as well. And let me provide the connection string which we have given in the ODBC.ini file. So let me click OK. Now these are the 2 ODBC connections I have given. Now let me close it and edit the session. And here in the mapping tab, you need to give the source connection value. I have created Aura demo 2. So click on the Aura demo 2 and emp_tgt and click on the post demo 2. So these are the 2 ODBC connections that we have defined. Now click apply and OK. Now we need to create a workflow. So in order to create a workflow, click workflow, create, and then it will pop up. Now provide your workflow name. And I am providing as cust1. And then from the left side, you just need to drag that session and then go to tasks and link task. So you need to link the task and then validate the workflow. So if you validate it, you can see in the valid as a output and click save. So now your workflow and the session will get saved into the repository database. Now you start your workflow. I already told that in order to see the statistics of the job, we need to log in into the workflow monitor. So I have logged into the workflow monitor and get session log. Now if you see the session log, now we can see the source and target loading. Now if you see at the end, it is showing as output rows 2 and affected rows 2, applied rows 2. That means 2 rows have been loaded into the target PostgreSQL. Let me log in into the PG admin and let me see whether the 2 records has loaded or not. Now, if you see the 2 records has loaded into the target, see the 2 records, 1 RAM and 2 ASH. So these 2 records has loaded into the target Postgres. So this is the way we need to load the data from any source into the any target database by using the DSN and then by using the drivers. Now the video demo got completed, and for your references, we have Informatica knowledge base search.informatica.com. You can see this, and if you want to see our channel, you can see at the www.youtube.com at the info support channel. And if you like the video, we would love to hear your feedback. You can give your valuable feedback at supportvideos@informatica.com, or we have a Twitter channel which is info support. Thank you for watching this video.